Hello and welcome to Ballam Road. This is episode 15 and we start off by doing a bit of a milk hunt because we moved all the cattle, all the dairy cows into the barns last month. We have to clear milk from pretty much everywhere. So we start off with having collected milk from the side barn where the young cows were in. They had started to produce milk towards the end. They of course now in with the regular milking herd now, and we collected a full tanker from there, plus there's still a little bit left over. Then we'll have to also collect from the new barn and from the two fields where the dairy cows were in. Of course the young stock won't be producing, so we won't have to collect from any of the other fields. And going forward for the next couple of months, all we have to do is collect milk from the new barn, so fairly consolidated there. Right, so the first load of milk we took into obviously our own production. Then we got another full load which we've just brought down to the ice cream cellar, and then we will also deliver 1,000 litres to each of the outlets that we have in the residential area and the BGA. So this episode devoted mainly to looking after and sorting out our cattle herd, our beef cattle herd. We need to get them into stalls, into the barn should I say, and we need to sell a few. So we'll sell 6 I think a little way down the line. Stay with us to see how much we got for those. And we kind of what I decided was to do away with one of the field cattle barns, if you want to call it that, the one just across the road from our from the actual farm, and to put in a new shed down in the cattle area just to house the baby cattle, the calves that were born this year, because the small barn only takes 30, so we couldn't put all 50 babies into that barn. Of course the older stock we'll keep in the big barn. So hang in there and you'll see what we did with regard to that. Right, so let's get started on sorting out those cattle. First thing, let's put some hay into the barns, make sure that they've got food. We'll sort out the straw as we go on later down the line. Also there's a new production product starting, which you'll see at the end of this video. Hang in for that. And we trade in our van stroke small truck stroke small lorry, whatever you want to call it, the black van. We trade that in, hang in there and see what we bought for to replace that. Needless to say, it's not going to be good for the courting couples. I'm thinking about the youngsters on the farm who were doing their courting in the black van. Do they still say courting these days? I think not. Right, so we've got that. Both those barns fully loaded with food. We've got to move all the manure as well. I think we've got lots of digestate as well, which we need to get into the BGA. Lots to do over the winter. Working on the grass fields during the summertime just took so much time. Right, so I'll show you the first move and the last move of each sort of barn full, just so that you don't have to sit through me traipsing up and down moving cattle 6 at a time. As I said, I decided not to bring in the any help to move these cattle. It's relatively quick because of the short distances to travel. It's fairly tedious, but you know, it takes half a day and it's done. And it doesn't cost us another £7,000 or £8,000 to have it done. Right, so we've got 30 of the young ones into the bottom barn. This is the first of the stock to go into the top barn. So yeah, it was just pretty much an up and down exercise. Right, so we've got this lot. We've got 6 of the Angus, fully grown Angus, taking these down to the animal dealer. We're going to sell them, have some beef made for the farm shop for the Christmas period. Love this little area. It's very tight. But that bottom road is a lovely road to drive along. Well, we're just about there. The animal dealer's just at the bottom of this road. Keen to see how much we'll get for this. There we go. It's always a little bit difficult, never quite sure. I haven't had to do a lot of transport to and from here, but it's always a little bit finicky to get into to reversing. I think maybe I should be reversing from the road. We'll try that next time around. We're only going to sell 6 cattle this season. Should bring in a reasonable amount. Hoping for over 3,000 per head. So hoping for about 20,000, I would think, from these 6. Nice little Christmas present for December. The other thing, of course, is December. This is the last month before we'll find out if there's any change to our economic situations. We've been playing on hard for the last year. It's been tough, but we've managed to progress. Managed to manage it as best we could. Be interesting to see. Of course, it's a random thing, so we could well still end up being hard under hard economic conditions. We don't know. So these are the last 2 of the fully grown stock to go into the barn. Put those in. And then we can sort out a new barn for the 20 babies that are still in the field. I suppose we could sell them, but you know, you'll only get 300 or 400 pounds per calf. So as I said, I have to make room to put down another animal pen. So I have to sell one of the animal pens that we have in place already. I decided to do this one, which is just across the road from the farm. And I'll keep the 2 fields at the main farm, one for the young stock and one for the older stock, and we'll just rotate those around every year. Of course, that means that we can use this field for additional grass if we need, which I think we are going to need. So I think I'll replant this field with new grass. And of course, this field that we're driving across here, I think is also available to us, which we didn't mow. But at least all our grass fields are much closer to home now. We don't have to traipse quite all over the market, except for field 19, which I might sell now that I've got this one. I think it's going to be the next thing. We'll keep it for now, just to see how we go during this summertime, just to see if we last, or if we need to have more grass and hay production and silage production. It's going to be our main focus each year, is making sure that we have enough food in stock to cover feeding our cows. As I said, the dairy cows I want to put onto TMR even in the fields. Feed TMR in their feeders on the field. Right, so I'm going to go another one with another one of these self-made barns, I think it's called. Take a reasonable amount, 45. We'll just put it straight into the field here, so that in the summertime we can just open the doors and the cows can have access to the grass. Keep them indoors for the winter time, so that they're not ruining the field, and gives the field time to recover in the early spring. Right, of course we need to put some food in. Should have put the food in before I put the first lot in, but got too excited trying to fill up our new barn. Still have to work out strawing options for all the barns for this winter. Let's probably do that in January. More than likely buy in straw to straw up the barns. I do have a little bit of straw in one of the sheds down here, but I don't think it's a huge amount. It might do one of the sheds. We'll sort that out later, let's say next month. Right, so this is the last of the cattle to go in. Also during the next couple of months we'll have to put a road in down the side here, so that we're not driving across the grass all the time. I've kind of spaced the shed so that we can drive behind the shed to do the feeding. Bit of a loop, so that we don't have to take up too much of the grazing land. Yes. I know you'd rather be outside. Just talking to the cattle there. Right, so that's the cattle done. Just finish off feeding this lot, fill up their barn, make sure that there's enough food, and we can just top off as and when necessary during the next 2 months. Yep, that looks looking good. Right, so I'm going to trade in the black van, get something a little bit bigger to start moving all the pallets. That I did notice that there were 3 pallets that had spawned at the greenhouse while I was driving past it down here at the cattle barn. So I'm going to buy this AW700 series Lizard, put a flatbed on it, think we'll do it in beige, white van man type thing. Yeah, and then we'll just get the flatbed connection for it, not connection, body or back for it. Connect that all up. Noisy little machine this. Lovely sound actually. Very, very basic. The main reason why I bought this is, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a new production. It's going to necessitate us buying in some pallets of raw material. And that's coming up pretty soon. I wonder if you've guessed what it is. It's going to be not that difficult. So I'll just load these two. I think we've got 2 strawberries and a box, a crate of tomatoes. Side opens up nicely, so both sides open and the back opens. And you get quite a few pellets on here, so yeah, I like it. My son's not happy. Used to use the other van, which I think they're coming to collecting them, well, sometime quite soon. We sold it privately, didn't actually trade it in, and I think they're coming to collect it from the farm, and well, very soon. So we should get a nice bit of income from that. Right, so we're going to take this off down to the farmers market, get that sold. It was the best price, well, not to the farmer, the best price was for the strawberries was from the ice cream maker, obviously for his strawberry ice cream. And so must be gearing up for Christmas as well. Those people buy ice cream for Christmas. And then we'll just drop off the tomatoes at the farm stall here, so we don't have to travel around too much for that. Then we'll nip down to the store and go and buy the income, and it'll become obvious what our new production product is going to be. Drop that off here. Yeah, that's it done. Let's head off down to the store now. Oh, before I do that, I nearly forgot I haven't done my daily deliveries to the farm stall. It struck me just as I was driving out. So we haven't cleared anything from the dairy production. So put the usual pellet of cheese and a pellet of butter into the farm shop. There we go. And then we've got a pellet of butter for each of the farm stalls. So you may think that I have already delivered to the tomatoes to the farm stall, but we have to deliver core product. And core product is product that comes from our dairy, so butter, cheese. So we still have to deliver a pellet of butter to the golf course as well. A little bit overkill for just these two, I suppose, this little lorry, but it just makes things a bit more versatile. The other van could pretty much take 2, and even then they weren't stacked flat because of the wheel arches. So we had to change something, and I don't see any reason to keep both. both a small truck and a van, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll just put one pallet into here. How glorious is that sunset? It's only what? It's not even 3 o'clock yet. Yeah. Let's run down to the golf course, and then we'll get into down to the shop area and go and pick up our raw material. Maybe I should still have done that first of all. It would have been a bit lighter. I think you would have got a better view of what I'm doing, because it gets quite dark down at the shop. So you may... Well, I could use the torch, I suppose. Got to speak to the shop about putting in some lights down there. If we have a decent year, we might even sponsor it. The collection area gets very dark, especially in the winter months. I've still got it. I did try and pick up those, but I need to bring the front end loader or the telehandler down to the store to pick up those other two. Must do it. Yep, so we're going to buy pellets of sugar, and we're going to start our chocolate production, which is also a core product, so we'll be able to deliver those to the farmers markets and to the supermarket, of course. I'm not sure whether the supermarket, they tend to buy their chocolate from the big brands. So we'll just have a look and see. But we'll certainly be able to supply our farm stalls with chocolate. And if we do, because it's a core product, we can sell our butter on to the supermarket, and they're always asking for butter, as is the golf course shop. They're also always asking for butter. So right, so that's 8 pallets loaded. We'll get that up to our dairy and start the chocolate production. Right, there we go. It's all sorted. Let's get up to the farm. Yeah, one thing about this van stroke lorry is that the lights are not great. Okay, so we need to put in some lights in this area. It was just too dark to show the actual offloading of the sugar, but as you can see there, we have just under 8,000 litres of sugar. I don't know what happened to the 1,000 litres, or at least with the 100 litres, or let's probably put it into the farm shop or something like that. Right, well, that's where we're going to end this episode. Chocolate production is on the go. You should be able to get that done for next season. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and cheerio.